You are experiencing dream, and suddenly there develops an idea, let me cut this dream, get away from it. But if you see any portion of the dream is staying, that little portion of the dream will again become the whole dream. Your only choice is to wake up. Your personality that has been in a very small circle of consciousness, defined by past, present and future, time, space and causation, that little circle in which mind gets so immersed. Now you find another dimension, samadhi dimension, which has boundless expansion. So goes on. As long as projection is not withdrawn, show will be there. You may go on requesting to have better show and go on improving on it, but it will never end. Om Sarmangalmangalye Shive Sarvartha Sadike Sharanye Triambake Gauri Narayani Namostute Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tapta Hema Ruchiram Ravichandra Vahni Netram Dhanushara Yutam Kush Pasha Shulam Ramyai Bhujascha Dadatim Tua Bhakti Rupam Kameshwarim Hridhi Bhajami Dhritendu Lekham. I adore Devi Kameshwari, synonym for Goddess Saraswati. All your desires are fulfilled. That's the highest goal. And Sat Devi is therefore the deity behind fulfillment of all desires, who is decked by the half moon on her head. Half moon is simply implying that you are being drawn by worshipping Goddess Saraswati, by worshipping God as a mother. You are being drawn to Shukla Paksha. Shukla Paksha means if you come to half moon, you must know you will going to get the full moon. Half moon is bhavana, feeling in your heart now begins to develop a Godward movement, with the embodiment of Shiva's Shakti. Shiva is Brahman. She shines like the molten gold. All allegorical. Gold is the real substance. When you deal with minerals and you get rocks in your hands, out of all that is the gold that means the best. Gold is the highest gold. Mukti is the gold, if you want to understand in a simple way. Sun, moon and fire are her eyes. These descriptions are on a very profound basis. Fire represents your naval center, Kriya Shakti, Manonash. All that is a fire level. An Uttarayana process, northern process, is described with the beginning Agnir Jyotiha Shukla, that fire. And that was represented by Durga Devi, who destroyed Madhu and Kaitaba. That was the role of bringing out the fire aspect of spiritual progress. Fire aspect is awakening your Kriya Shakti, allowing it to become involved in japa, meditation, all actions that purify your heart, spiritual enrichment. And as you develop, again, more profound characteristic of the fire movement, Agni Jyoti, it creates this Viveka Buddhi, a subtle understanding of what is real and what is not real. And then you come to Shukla Paksha. I'm referring to the Uttarayana path, how it has been described. Agni Jyotiha Shukla. First you move through Vairagya. Next, Viveka, discriminative. Then, every day that you live, you have a spiritual enrichment. You don't necessarily have to do but you are not living. You are not living in vain. If that type of stage has matured, now real experience comes in your heart. The heart that has been always agitated, now beautiful moon begins to emerge. Previously your heart was after twinkling stars and countless stars. But now, twinkle, twinkle, little star. The moon has started. And as bhavana begins to develop, your personality that has been in a very small circle of consciousness, defined by past, present and future, time, space and causation, that little circle in which mind gets so immersed, now you find another dimension, Samadhi dimension, which has boundless expansion, a progressive expansion. That's described as Uttarayana, the northern path of the sun, which what does? Your period of daylight increases day by day. All that's allegorical, nothing to do with that study of northern path, the physical way. So, heart, moon and sun. Sun is ultimate goal, Brahman. So these three are her eyes. See, one eye, Durga Devi. Another eye is Lakshmi Devi, giving you all Devi Sampat, allowing all the bhavana, feeling to become profound. Another, the last, is the goddess of wisdom, shining as the sun. Same Devi has three stages. She holds in her divine hands bow, arrow, ankush. Ankush is kind of a hook, a nail that is bent, and catch. The divine movement operates in a mysterious way. You are slipping due to some force of the lower self within yourself. But the Devi will bring a noose and push you out of it. As well as the noose will go into the nose of the demoniac quality and push them away. So that's the function of the noose. And she holds a spear, the penetrative understanding. At this stage, let me give you also the meaning of the mantra. Aim Hreem Kleem Chamundayai Viche. Aim is Goddess Saraswati. Hreem, Goddess Lakshmi. Kleem, Durga Devi. These three represent Sat Chit Ananda. Sat Chit Ananda, in it, Ananda comes first. Aim is Ananda. Saraswati brings about. Hreem is Lakshmi Devi. Chit. And Kleem, Durga Devi, Sat. Sat Chit Ananda. Let me bring more clarity about it. When Kriya Shakti operates at your navel center, Manonash occurs. Manonash means mind is not just interested in going into raga and dvesha. Mind develops a deeper interest in getting serenity. Once that has become your mind's clear understanding, then Durga Devi has brought you to Sat aspect of Brahman. Sat, Satyameva Jayate. Now you don't have to worry about it. You are perfectly firm. Therefore, I have also given you a little root letter behind that. It's Dat. Now you become Dat in your spiritual movement. Previously you were shaking. And when your heart center becomes operative, dynamic, because Kundalini passes through it, that center represents Lakshmi Devi, the role of Lakshmi, and matches up with Chit aspect, Sat Chit Ananda. And that's described as Bhavana, Vasana Kshaya. Impure vasanas move away. And what I call it, hut. That hut. And finally, Goddess Saraswati is Ananda. That means when ignorance is cut down, that hut cut. Rather, instead of cut, better word is fat. The avarana, chest is torn up. So those three are described as in mantra, Aim, Hreem, Kleem. And the same relates to Cha Munda. Cha, Kali, Durga Devi. Mun, Lakshmi Devi. Da, Saraswati Devi. We adore the Devi in these three aspects. Viche term, let all the fetters be broken asunder. Viche means simply breath asunder. The knots of the heart broken down. The Devi who is Satchit Ananda, existence, knowledge, bliss, absolute. The Devi who operates as Kriya Shakti, as Ichha Shakti, as Jnana Shakti. May that Devi bring about the end of all fetters. That's its whole Vedanta is summed up in the mantra. Now I'm leading you to the storyline, which is very vibrant story and hair-raising. But you see, there is enormous contents. And in a short duration of our time, I'm going to give you just the highlights and its mystical meaning. Remember that Shumbha and Nishubha, they are the highlight of the demoniac obstacle, and they represent Avarana, the veil of ignorance, which has two fingers, me and mine. Ahamta, illusion about me, and me doesn't live without mind. And that's me and mine, they are Shumbha and Nishubha. There are various steps leading to destruction of Shumbha and Nishubha. First step, you have already heard about Dhumralochana, Viparita Buddhi. First, your mind's vision of what is right path, that must be correct. And Dhumralochana was sent by Shumbha and Nishubha to catch the Devi and bring her as a possession for Shumbha and Nishubha to enjoy. And Dhumralochana was sent, but the Devis, with all the vibrant descriptions, the Devi simply utter, and a terrible explosion occurs, and the demon burns up. So, Dhumralochana has been finished. Now, if you have become alert to follow the path, you are facing now a big challenge which is not easy to understand. Your mind views the spiritual path as karma and sannyasa. You develop in your mind, you have only two choices. Stay with karma or go to sannyasa. Now, if you stay with karma, that's chanda. You are going to be reborn again and again and again. If you stay with sannyasa, we're not referring to real sannyasa, but a narrow-minded view of inaction, moving away from action. That is worse than doing action, because you do more action in the name of being inactive. Practice, do it experimental. Decide for 3 hours I'll do nothing. I will not hear anybody. I must have rest. 3 hours I'll do nothing. Hardly 3 minutes have gone. A mosquito starts jumping on your nose. Stay, do nothing. But you can't do that. Your muscles are itching to do something. So many ideas arise in your mind, but to say no, of inaction. The effort that you are putting in keeping yourself inactive is much worse than the effort that you put in handling actions. But in spite of all that, you can't see it. Then you end up with a very dull, witty intellect. So dull that even your head, instead of being something purposeful, becomes like a rock. Munda is that time. Your head is meant to resolve problems. But head becomes the basis for breaking down, a source of terror. The example are the animals, how they fight with their head. And human beings do the same thing allegorically. So that's called Munda, Chanda and Munda. An aspirant must resolve this problem of Chanda and Munda. And that is done when Devi destroys them. That's in storyline. Let me go through this story, then I'll give you more. Shumbha and Nishubha, when they heard about Dhumalochana's destruction, they commanded Chanda and Munda to proceed towards the Himalayas and bring that Devi, whichever way possible. They proceeded with a vast army and they came to Himalayas, and there they see the Devi on a golden summit of a mountain, shining, seated on a lion, and gentle smile in her face. Now these demons, they proceeded to catch the Devi. Some prepared their bow and arrow. Some took their swords. And they all proceeded towards the Devi. The Devi became exceedingly wrathful. And in that stage, face became black. The eyebrows twisted. But out of all that, suddenly another Devi emerges. All that blackness that has developed now crystallizes in the form of Kali. Kali was holding in her hands sword and noose, and her face described Vikral, terrible. Now, this description of Kali is from the point of view of the demons. The demons look at Kali, and that's the way Kali looks. The rays of the sun look wonderful, but for the forces of darkness, they are all terrible. The Devi is clad with tiger skin and garland of skulls, and in her body there is no flesh, fat and flesh. They are that creates fermenting process. She is pure bones. Face was vast, and the tongue, flickering tongue, lap, lap, lap. And the eyes, they were not so coming out, say, deep, as if we are looking into a hole, two holes, and something shining within these holes. And the Devi created a thundering garjan, roaring expression of her presence, roaring sound all around. This Kalika Devi went on destroying demons, and there's a whole description of how she uses different type of instruments, how she catches elephants, not 1, 3, 4, 500 elephants put together and pushes it in her mouth. And chariots with horses, the drivers, and those who are in the chariot. The whole chariot goes into her mouth like little salad. Seeing this, Chanda rushed towards the Devi, and Munda discharged thousands of arrows as well as discus. Discus is that type of instrument that whirls. And all these weapons and discusses, they seem to veil the goddess. But then they all began to pour themselves into the mouth of the goddess. Having swallowed them all, Kali Devi laughed, attahas, roared with laughter. But while she roared with laughter, her teeth began to bring out a special effulgence. Damini, damak, damak. Lightning flashes coming out of her teeth. And finally, Devi, with her sword, turned towards Chanda and cut his head down by the sword with the utterance of word, huh. This is the description of hut. First that, now this is a hut movement. Seeing Chanda destroyed, Munda ran towards the Devi. And the Devi, with this same sword, cut down Munda. Seeing both dead, all the army that was now, whatever army was left, that army ran away. And Kali Devi, holding the two heads in her hand, brought to Chandika Devi, the same Devi. After Kali emerged, the other aspect of the Devi is described as Chandika. She brought about the destruction of Chanda and Munda through her radiance of Kali. Kali radiated from her. The simple way to understand is a Vairagya movement. Things look wonderful, delightful. But when Vairagya comes into you, they're not delightful. They're all sunk in darkness. Kali movement. So the Devi said to, Kali Devi said to Chandika, O Devi, I'm offering these two animals as sacrifice on your altar, offering to you. And now it is up to you, now for you to destroy Shumbha and Nishumba. The Devi said to Kali that you have brought this Chanda Munda to me, the world will know you as Chamunda. Next chapter, this 8th chapter, and this has a lot of detail, and I will just give you a summary. Now Shumbha and Nishumba, having come to realized that Chanda and Munda are dead, Shumbha and Nishumbha now proceeded to fight the Devi. But prior to that, they sent a special type of a demon known as Rakta Bija. This demon has a special boon. If anyone were to hurt him and cause blood to ooze from his body, from every drop of the blood, same vigor, same personality will arise. And from every drop of that personality, similar personality. The demon had secured his existence by that type of a boon. All that seems like a big story, and simple point is, Sanskrit word for that is vithan, externalized consciousness. Say, for example, you are experiencing dream, and suddenly there develops an idea, let me cut this dream, get away from it. But if you see any portion of the dream is staying, that little portion of the dream will again become the whole dream. Your only choice is to wake up. But if you go on altering your dream with the idea that problem is resolved, no matter how much changes you may work out in your dream, a big calamity was there and you removed it in your dream. Thereby you have just got one drop of that demon. Out of that, another calamity develops. In a way, we live in the world of Rakta Bija. Think of resolving the problem of the world. If there is any corner of the world exists, it will repeat the whole history. But the idea again, not to get into too much, again I will give you the terminologies of bhava pratyaya and pratyaya bhava. Bhava pratyaya. Watch a cinema show. Show goes on as long as projection is not withdrawn. Show will be there. You may go on requesting to have better show and go on improving on it, but show will continue. It will never end. But then when projection itself is withdrawn, the chitta that causes projection dissolves in this highest level of enlightenment. Shouldn't surprise you. The mind that helps you day by day in deep sleep, it dissolves. You're not a loser, so don't worry about it. It's the chitta that gives all the picture of the world, from including all your experiences from birth, one birth to another, cycle of thousands of millions of births and deaths. All this is a big drama. Even if a small portion of this has the capacity to create the whole world. So that's the description of Rakta Bija. And what is the solution? That its blood should not fall. The Devi extends her tongue, sucks out Rakta Bija. First stage, is a big drama, how Rakta Bija is killed by Not one Devi, all many Devis come from different gods. All gods were also watching. And Devi emerged from those gods, from Brahma, Brahmani, from Vishnu, Vaishnavi, from Narasingha, Narasinghi. All Devi Devatas, their corresponding Shaktis, they all became involved. But the demon continued to increase. The Devi then extended her tongue and let the demons slip into the tongue, and all the blood fall on the tongue, not anywhere else. The tongue of the Devi is Brahmakar Vritti, that intuitive function of mind that moves away the whole projection process, leaving the screen completely intact. But as long as you are involved with the projection, there is no end to it. That's what brought out in Mahabharata. And Duryodhana said, I will not give to the Pandavas even the point of a needle point, implying if even a needle point from Kaurava world will become exceedingly powerful. I'm not going into that detail, but that's subtle points are there. In other words, if you wake up from your dream, you are not carrying even a needle point of the dream. You might have been stitching with needle. Wake up, look for your needle, it's not there. Now to go into more colorful description. Raktabija went with 8 generals, each having a vast demoniac army. Those generals their names are given: Udayudha, Kambu, Kotivirya, Dhaumra, Kalaka, Dauhidra, Maurya, Kalakeya, and they represent Ashtapashas, 8 fetters: Dhrina, contempt. That's general of Raktabija. Lajja here is not a good quality. Lajja refers to modesty, but deluded modesty. Deluded, you are so modest. Your father says, don't go to the ashram. You say, oh, Father, I will obey you. I will never look at the ashram. How cozy, how modest could you be? That's not real modesty. That's a demoniac quality. You are going against virtue in the name of modesty. That's a demoniac quality. Bhaya, fear. Allowing your mind to always be under fear, that one should be careful not to always contradict it by japa, prayer, satsanga. Don't stay with fear. I'm easily saying it, but that's a big challenge. All are afflicted with fear. Vinivesh klesha, you have the basic fear of losing your life. And it's a ridiculous thing. Think of sun reflecting in a jar. And every moment afraid I'm going to lose my life. The reflected sun. Every moment. That type. And all fears are radiations of the central fear. You want to secure your personality. And everything that seems to affect it, you begin to fear. And then fear becomes more exaggerated. Things are getting positive, but your mind says, but what will happen if hurricane comes? Where will I go? So you don't enjoy this positive. Even during positive situations, you stay with your fear. Mind works in a very foxy way, and you have to outfox it. That's a challenge in life. With great patience. And all that becomes possible if you have satsanga, forced by mantra, prayer, and living your integral yoga in daily life. Next type of fetter is called shanka. No matter how things are, mind faces its doubt. You say, all right, if I were to attain jnana, I will attain liberation. But if I would prefer to worship Lakshmi Devi, first I must have business success. Or should I go on worshipping Lakshmi Devi? I hear that Lakshmi is not enough. So no matter what you do, there is Shanka behind it. Wholehearted movement doesn't go there. But that's where is another big challenge. When you worship any deity, wholehearted, that deity is all. Don't think that another deity is looking for you, waiting for you for their turn. I'm not discouraging you from worshipping different deities, but give value. Every deity is all together. All deities are one reality in different poses. And you can enjoy all the poses with that understanding. But when you go on developing that shanka, doubt, and again when you hear various things, power of siddhi, some people promote siddhi, others promote the siddhi is not so good, you should develop vairagya, and lots of doubts enter in human mind. And that's what you hear after satsanga. Hours go together, people are trying to discuss what is real, what is not real. He missed the story of what happened in 4,000 years ago. I have a better knowledge about it. So I will not go into details. Shanka leads to panka. Punk is mud. Jugupsa. Jugupsa is gossiping habit. Kul. Pride of coming from a very great family line, coming from son of some great personality and his son, etc., the whole family line. And I come from a very great family. Come from the family of Chaturvedis who knew 4 Vedas. And therefore I'm much better than all these people. shield, pride of culture, and jati. Jati is kind of a classification, brahmanas, kshatriyas, and so forth. All these are described as demons, and they are all given their form and big army behind them, and Devi goes on fighting with them. So it takes time, see, to go through all that. It may take months. And just for your information, that's the subtle point related to when people do Sastanga Pranam, prostrate, they touch 8 limbs of their body, reminding that I am shedding these 8 fetters. No ghrina, no fear, no doubt, no gossiping habit, no illusions. You are shedding them. And that's brought into culture, meaning behind bowing down. You don't have to count 8, but that's what the subtle meaning. After Raktabija was destroyed, now Shumbha and Nishubha, their turn comes for them. First stage, terrible battle occurs against Nishubha, the younger brother. During that time, all the Shaktis emanating from gods joined with the Chandika Devi, and Mahadevi told Chandika, for my pleasure, O Devi, destroy all these demons. Terrible Devi arose out of Mahadevi. She spoke to Lord Shiva with matted locks. O Lord, be our messenger. Go to Shumbha and Nishubha and convey our message that we are going to destroy them if they don't stop their negativity. Devi is therefore known as Shivaduti. She made Shiva as a messenger. That's all. That's a very subtle point, that Devi Shakti brings God, the Absolute, as if in your plan for your spiritual advancement. As if God comes down, that's the avataran. There's Arohan and Avataran. If you advance, you are ascending. But Prakriti Devi makes God descend. So she is Shivaduti. Devi with 8 arms, shining chariot. No, that is the description of Nishubha. Nishubha comes with 8 arms, shining chariot, and with a vast army. But finally, Devi pierces his heart with a dart. And even in that stage, another person emanates from that demon, and the Devi destroys them. And finally, Shumbha fights against the Devi. But Shumbha says to the Devi that it's not fair. You are fighting with so many people. Your words were that anybody who could fight me and defeat me, I will be his wife. But all these people are there. So it's not a fair fight. Devi said, I am alone. Or she withdraws all and becomes just alone. And brings about the end of Shumbha. Shumbha and Nishubha both destroyed. And all that implies Remember the sequence. Dhumralochana, the perverted vision. Chanda and Munda, the misunderstanding relating to karma and sannyasa. Then 8 families of the Rakshasas, 8 pashas, fetters. And Raktabija, that externalization of the mind that always goes, outgoing mind, instead of moving towards the source. When all this is destroyed, then ultimately me and mine are sublimated. They don't exist. That's the purpose of this entire 9 days of worship. And with this I will conclude. Om Sarvamangala Mangalye Shive Sarvartha Sadhike Sharanye Triyambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namah. Om Maa Saraswati Namah. Shri Guruve Namah. Om Sarvamangala Mangalye Shive Sarvartha Sadhike Sharanye Triyambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. Archana of the Devi. Om Saraswati Namah. Om Mahabhadraya Namah. Mahamaya Namah. Varapradaya Namah. Shri Pradaya Namah. Padmanilayaya Namah. Padmakshay Namah. Padmavaksrakaya Namah. Shivanudaya Namah. Pustakvrite Namah. Jnanamudraya Namah. Ramaya Namah. Paraya Namah. Kamarupaya Namah. Mahavidyaya Namah. Mahapataknashinya Namah. Mahashayaya Namah. Malinyaya Namah. Mahabhogaya Namah. Mahotsahaya Namah. Divyangaya Namah. Suravanditaya Namah. Mahakalya Namah. Mahapashaya Namah. Mahakaraya Namah. Mahankushaya Namah. Gitaya Namah. Vimalaya Namah. Vishwaya Namah. Om Shri Saraswati Namah. Om Jai Jai Arati Vigna Vinayak. Vigna Vinayak Shri Ganesha. Jai Jai Arati Subramanya. Subramanya Kartikeya. Jai Jai Arati Venugopala. Venugopala. Venulola Papa Vidura. Navanita Chora. Jai Jai Arati Venkataramana. Venkataramana Sankataharana Sitarama Radheshyama. Jai Jai Arati Gauri Manohar. Gauri Manohar Bhavani Shankara Samba Sadashiva Uma Maheshwara. Jai Jai Arati Raja Rajeshwari. Raja Rajeshwari Tripura Sundari Mahakali Mahalakshmi Maa Saraswati Mahashakti. Jai Jai Arati Anjaneya. Anjaneya Hanumanta. Jai Jai Arati Dattatreya. Dattatreya Trimurtavatara. Jai Jai Arati Shanaishwaraya. Shanaishwaraya Bhaskaraya. Jai Jai Arati Sadgurunatha. Sadgurunatha Shivananda. Jai Jai Arati Venugopala. Om na tatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam nema vidito bhanti kuto yamagni tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam tasya bhasa sarmidam vibhati. Om Shri Mahalakshmi Namah. Om Aim Saraswati Namah. Om Dum Durgaya Namah. Om Shanti Shanti.